Well, the video you're about to see is part 2 of the Cruzer recognition light mounting. I'm going to show you how I mounted basically the light frame inside the wing and how I started cutting out the holes in the opening for the lens. As you'll see at the end of the video, there's not much more I can do until I flip the wing over, which I should be able to do today. So look for part 3 coming out soon. Okay guys, I'm going to try to explain how I'm doing this because I need like 3 or 4 hands to film this and do it at the same time. With these ribs from Zenith, they don't match the curve of the wing, which is surprising. As you can see, the top of this flat plate is a little bit higher than the rib because on the rib from about here back on the top doesn't touch the wing. So the way I fit this in the wing is going to be like this. I held in the rib. I'm going to see if I can film this and do it at the same time. So I held in the rib to where it's positioned. Then I held in the back plate here to where it's touching the top and bottom. And with my fingers, I kind of clamped the two together. I pulled them out as one. And I already had the holes drilled in the tab of the flat back part. I traced the holes and drilled. So that way it gets lined up vertically. Now I'll do the same thing for this other end rib. So here is the other end. I've drilled 4 holes in this tab and I'm going to put it in the wing. I'm going to kind of hold it with my fingers like this. Okay, so I'm going to hold it in the wing like that. I'm going to get it positioned vertically like this and then like this. I'm going to clamp them together with my fingers. I'll slide it out of the wing and then I'll trace these holes that are in the tab onto the rib and drill them, just like I did that one. All right, and after you're done, here is the light in the wing. As you can see, what I mean is these tabs here don't exactly, I can bend the tab up to the wing, but they don't fit perfectly. They don't fit towards the front either, but it is what it is. That's how it's going to look in the wing. It's pushed in all the way, so I have room for the wingtip to go in there. And this is going to be pretty dark, yeah, but it's right up next to that rib. I can probably slide this out maybe to here. So I think what I'm going to do next is drill the holes in the ribs, then from the ribs, drill the hole in the wing, get this positioned in the wing, and then from the outside, see where I need to position the lens. All right, here's where I'm at so far. I have this rib drilled into the wing. I have the first hole, well, you can't see because of, well, you can. There's a first hole and a back plate drilled on the bottom. Now I might have screwed up because the way I'm drilling these is down through like this, and I already have the holes drilled in the other rib, but as you can see, there's no way for me to drill the holes. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is take that assembly out from inside the wing, get some very good measurements, and measure over from here and try to drill those 2 holes. And if I match the other 2 holes, then great. If not, then I will probably have to replace that rib and get one without any holes in it. Okay, from the outside you saw that rib is done. All the holes on the bottom are drilled and clecoed. And I'm going to do the same thing for the top. But if you can see, there's a tiny little space right here. So I actually need the flange on this back piece. I need to unbend it just a hair. It's bent a little bit too far. It doesn't perfectly match the top of the skin. So I'll take it out now and unbend that, put it back in and drill the holes along the top. Okay, that's all done. I've used this tool here to do it. I don't know what it's called. I bought it from Avery Tools, and I don't think they are in business anymore. But here's how it works. You just clamp it on here like this, and you bend it however you need. You want to bend it up this way or down that way. Go through 3 times, and it's done. So now it perfectly matches. And you can see I have 5 holes on the bottom, and I'm going to match those. Put 5 holes on the top here, and I'll put it in the wing and use that angle drill to drill up through here out the top of the wing. All right, what do you think? Chop's done, outside rib is done, bottom's done. Here's the inside here. Now I just have to figure out how to do that inboard rib. What I'm hoping is I can take the whole assembly out and measure from here to here and do a bunch of measurements and try to get almost exactly where the 2 holes are. If I screw it up, then I'll get a new rib. All right, I did it, at least on the top anyway. What I did was I measured, these 2 ribs are exactly the same as, or these 2 holes are the same as these 2 holes. So I measured down exactly from this line to here, and then from here to here. And then from here to here, from here to here. And then I measured from the distance on the inside piece from this hole over to this hole. And then I made my marks on here and drilled them, and it lined up perfectly. So that's good. That saves that rib. Now I just have to do the same thing on the bottom to get the bottom 2 holes. Once I get these 2 holes, that whole inside piece will be in there and done. And then what I can do is kind of measure out where this needs to go and trace my lines on there and cut out the hole for the lens. Then I'm going to show you how I mount the lens to make it removable. Well, I was trying to work on the bottom of the wing to get those 2 holes, but I'm going to wait until I get some help to flip the wing over because it's just too hard to do upside down. And I kind of only have 1 shot to get that right, like I did the top, and I don't want to mess it up. So what I've started doing now is working on positioning the lens, and that's what all these lines are for here. You can see the outline of the lens there. That's this outside line. Then I measured in just about 5/8 from the edge, and I drew another line because that's where, as you can see on the tape on the lens, that's where it'll be positioned under the wing and get mounted under the wing. And then I made these a 1/2 inch in, so I'll get a unibit and cut out a hole like this, so that'll give me a nice round corner on both sides. And then I'll probably use a Dremel to cut this out, and I'll flip it over and do the exact same thing. Well, look at that. That's kind of scary to cut 2 big holes in your wing, isn't it? But they came out nice.